Hej, crven cvete, prerasla te trava, 5 godinica nisam tebe brala. Kosovo mi pile krilom suzu krije, da doše te pitao me niko nije. A ja molim te.
Città romana e slava, ferita sanguinante nei Balcani degli anni 90 e ora divisa fra Russia ed Europa. Abbiamo deciso di partire da qui, da Belgrado, per raccontarvi cosa sta accadendo in Serbia. Non intervisteremo politici o persone delle istituzioni, ma abbiamo deciso di scendere in piazza e nelle strade per parlare con i ragazzi, con i commercianti e con dei giornalisti, perché la Serbia lontana dai riflettori è la Serbia autentica. Con loro parleremo del conflitto ucraino e delle conseguenze che ha sui Balcani, delle recenti tensioni in Kosovo e di come, a pochi chilometri dall'Italia, stia per nascere una nuova guerra etnica. Ed infine proveremo a comprendere i profondi sentimenti di una città che a settembre avrebbe dovuto ospitare l'Europride, ma che ha detto di no.
Gli echi della guerra in Ucraina hanno riacceso qui in Serbia passioni mai sopite, da quando nel 99 i bombardieri NATO hanno causato 3.000 morti e 12.000 feriti tra i civili. In Serbia è presente un fortissimo sentimento filorusso, ma ciò non è motivo di stupore. Da secoli che Russia e Serbia si vantano di essere sorelle slave. Al tempo stesso però la Serbia ha fatto richiesta di entrare all'interno dell'Unione Europea. Il nuovo governo eletto all'aprile scorso di Aleksandar Vučić dovrà fare da equilibrista tra queste due anime.
Serbian people in 80% or more have strong and firm traditional values, family values, religious values. And Russia today is the global leader in protecting those freedoms and protecting those rights. People in Serbia see Russia as somebody who protects its way of life, protects the traditional family, the family values, religious freedoms, and on the other hand opposes very well all of that globalist agenda, all of that LGBT agenda, and all of that anti-religious, anti-traditional, so-called liberal and progressive values that have torn out the soul of the people in the West. And due to that, we see on one hand what's happening in Russia, and we see on the other hand what's happening in Western Europe and US, and we have no dilemma which is more preferable for us.
My opinion, it's not a war between Russia and Ukraine.
Okay.
It's a war between Russia and the United States. America wants to be a policeman in every part of the world. That's the truth. Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, Vietnam, Serbia, now Russia. American people, it's very kind. But American people, American government, it's different. You know, that's the truth. And Europe, it's be separate and be very, very hard for life because America wants that. And you will see, especially this winter. I don't like more Russia or Ukraine. It's the same people. Russia, whatever what we think, but Russia, it's a very strong country.
Sablyo moja dymiskijo, sablyo moja krwalijo, luta bujo żelno moja, da idemo usred boja. Napred juriš koji pali, iz rok koji krvce žali, za slobodu, za zlotvori, Srbiju nam se rado bori. Sabljo moja dimiskio,
Say that is a value problem. It would be hard to justify such things because you have two nations that their language at first it's very similar. You have a huge Russian speaking amount of people in Ukraine. The religion is mostly the same. I think 67 or 70% of Ukrainian citizens are Orthodox Christians. So to defend that this is a value question of the West and East, it's very difficult, and this is not something easy to sell for the people there or here or anywhere, because just yesterday one of American general, ex-general, he stated that America succeeded to push Ukraine into war instead of them for just 66 or 67 billion, and they found a proxy player who gonna fight and die on the battlefield for their goals. And at the end we have like ordinary people who just suffer and the bloodshed there, believing they're fighting for something glory, or how we can say. For Russian people and for our Russian system, it's I mean, it is a very clear situation. You have NATO states surround them, and they just won't give any meter of the land close to their border anymore.
I am pro-EU oriented. We see some hypocrisy in the EU standpoints. I'm still leaning towards the European Union because European Union, Germany, in the first place, is the biggest trade partner, is the biggest strategic partner of Serbia. So yes, I would say if we lean our economy more towards European Union, it would be better, of course, for Serbia and Serbian citizens to be part of European Union, because European Union for us is a good thing that will be joined in the economic policy of European Union, and from my perspective view, that would be better. And yes, I think that if we go with our trade more towards, first Austria, Germany, and Italy, and other European countries, I believe that we can make our losses with not doing business with Russia.
Sabioncemo zarezati, krlucemo zapisati, della nasza imegdane, balzane bovido
Nel cuore dei Balcani, dall'inizio del conflitto in Ucraina, sono tornati a soffiare forti i venti d'odio, venti che non sono mai realmente soffiati. L'aumento del pressing dell'amministrazione kosovara nei confronti delle minoranze serbe che vivono nel paese ha creato forti tensioni. Un gioco pericoloso che rischia di riaccendere un conflitto etnico e religioso.
Zemlja kroz oblake leti preko nebeskih visina, krila su joj Morava i Drina.
Serbi contro kosovari albanesi, cristiani contro musulmani e infine filorussi contro filoamericani. A Belgrado, città che ha ospitato migliaia di serbi fuggiti dal Kosovo, ora il fuoco sotto la cenere divampa tra le nuove generazioni.
Da se ne radimo.
Ex Jugoslavia c'erano il mix di ortodossi, di cattolici, di muslimi. Abbiamo passati tante cose belle nel passato, prima di questa maledetta guerra nel 1991, che cominciava tutto. E poi ad un certo punto Kosovo, come era il parte dell'ex Jugoslavia, come anche Vojvodina, Serbia, Croazia, Bosnia, Slovenia, ad un certo punto vogliono separarsi. Però non c'era referendum come adesso in Ucraina, non c'era. Era un tipo di decisione politica. Kosovo nell'istoria era il cuore nel Serbia, dove cominciava tutto, l'istoria, i chiesi ortodossi, e poi erano influenza degli soprattutto Stati Uniti, che hanno deciso di fare una grandissima base di NATO a Kosovo, si chiama Bonstil. Volevano di vicinare a russi, perché sai che Bulgaria e Romania sono entrati già a Europa Unita. Da noi è una molto triste storia, perché tante serbe vivono a un parte di Kosovo, all'altra parte vivono sciptari, e con gli supporti di soldi, soprattutto di politici di Europa, di Bruxelles, di America, sono molto forti. Noi siamo in questo senso deboli. Se voi chiedete tutti, alcuni dicono che Kosovo è già perso, in questo senso che è già indipendente. L'altra parte della gente pensano che Kosovo è occupato dagli stranieri americani. Se tu chiedi ogni serbo, non c'era la guerra, era una azione unica di 19 paesi nel mondo contro solo un paese, che è Serbia. Significa 19 paesi di NATO che hanno bombardato solo un paese.
Na tri sveto i na tri sastavno odlazimo na Kosovo ravno, odlazimo na suđeno mesto, zbogom majko, sestro i nevesto, zbogom prvi nerođeni sine, zbogom ružo, zbogom
I don't think countries should exist in an administrative way. I think we all should have like culture, but I think countries should not exist. A war, like I'm not on Russia's side. I condemn every war and every violence, but it is a Western provoked war, same as Kosovo, same as Yugoslav wars in the 90s. It is Western provoked war. Like they use intelligence agencies to provoke such wars in a matter I don't want to speak.
Actually, I was 7 or 8 years old. It was terrifying because I was a child, but on the other hand, our parents and grandparents tried to shield us from what was going on. We as children actually played with this. We had a game where one of us was Serbian and the others are NATO. And so that's how we tried to understand what was going on, you know. So it was terrifying, scary, but on the other hand, I learned how to, we learned that history means a lot because we were listening to our adults talking about what was going on. 25 countries were bombing one country, and we as children didn't understand why. What did we do wrong? What's going on? Why isn't there money? There weren't even diapers, milk, everything was. But there I discovered that we as a nation are actually quite optimistic. We Serbians are vigilant and resilient and optimistic. So you were asking my friend, did you forgive NATO? Can you forgive that? I mean, you can politically. We want to go forward, but you just cannot forget something like that. You just cannot, for example, there's a lot of PR marketing around NATO here in Belgrade. There are a lot of Serbians who enter this kind of organizations, non-governmental organizations here in Belgrade who are, you know, fighting for NATO. You know, do you want to enter NATO maybe? Did you forgive what's going on? We're like, really? Are you really doing this? Because I am proud to be Serbian. Of course, as an Orthodox, I can forgive, but I will never forget. And I will be smarter, and my people is going to be smarter in the coming years and decades, seeing how this geopolitical situation is going.
For my personal opinion, and this is extremely rare, Kosovo is not part of the Serbia, in my opinion, honest. But I think the Serbian lives should be protected, Serbian churches should be protected, and basically Serbian history should be protected. I think Kosovo should be independent, but of course, majority are Albanians. They, can we swear? Yeah. Basically, Albanians are like, you know, sucking cock for the USA for the majority of time. They built like a statue for the Bush and all presidents. So Israel recognized Kosovo, a bunch of major states recognized Kosovo, and the thing is, people, when you ask like random Serbians here, like, what do you think of Kosovo? Oh yeah, Kosovo is Serbia. No. They never went there. they never went there, and they never will. They will always be keyboard warriors defending the part of the Serbia that they don't give a shit about, you know. So it's kind of hypocritical on that end, but it's kind of fucked up to have agreement like not to bully each other, because basically it's gonna be like Israel and Palestine forever, in my opinion.
Alla fine di settembre, qui a Belgrado, avrebbe dovuto tenersi il più grande raduno ufficiale della comunità LGBT europea, l'Europride. Migliaia di persone però hanno detto no. Scendendo in strada portando icone, croci e bandiere nazionali, hanno marciato per tutta la città fino ad arrivare qua, alla cattedrale di San Sava.
Belgrade people don't want Europride. I don't respect pride and propaganda. I respect gay. I don't, but propaganda is no. No in Serbia. No in Serbia.
Yes, of course, we had several processions in Serbia, as we say, litije, with several tens of thousands of people marching in the streets of Belgrade, you know, families with kids, priests, monks, wearing church flags, wearing Serbian flags, wearing icons. And they were protesting not just against Europride, you know. Europride is just the tip of the iceberg. It's a manifestation that lasts 7 or 10 days, and it's over. They go home and that's it. We are much more worried about LGBT in our institutions, in our laws, in our education, in our media, regarding our children especially, because as we know, children are most unprotected category and are most influential in that way, prone to their influence. And of course, as we know, they especially want to target kids. So we are against all of that. We're not imposing our worldviews on anybody. We're not saying to LGBT people or to their, you know, organizations or whoever. We're not saying to them you have to have heterosexual marriages and have kids. But in the same way, we don't want them saying or teaching our kids that having a same-sex family with children is the same as having same-sex couples, you know, raising adopted kids, and that Christian values are the same as LGBT values or anything similar. That day when they walked, despite our president, our Supreme Court and our Ministry of Internal Affairs said that the walk is forbidden due to security reasons, they show that they don't care about the laws of this country, they just care about imposing their agenda. And as they did by walking yesterday, they will do the same tomorrow by walking through our institutions, as we say, marching through institutions and imposing their laws that will be mandatory, of course. So we are fighting against that, and the true struggle is just about to begin.
Pride, it's cool for me, like to have that side of, you know, like smaller group, their own voice, their own opinion. But the thing is, when it comes to Serbia, we are like, in this like cave of religion and stuff like that, and people think that pride, like people, gays, transgenders, whoever, walking will affect somehow like Serbian traditional families, and that's not the case. But I do realize why pride and people who are walking with pride and organizing that "look at me, I'm gay," are basically like poking the majority in the eye and be like, "Hey, look at me, I'm causing a scene." But I think that's kind of fair because they were basically bullied like for years and years and years back. So for them having to walk, sure, I don't care. You do you. But I do understand like both sides. And the thing is, even like the smaller percent of the people who are like in the pride and smaller percent of the people who are like hooligans and anti-pride are basically making both sides look bad. Like for example, they made a statement that they will not be, I don't know, butt naked in front of the church. They did that. But they did 5% of the people who went to the pride did that. And they also claim they will not walk like this, how do you say, hooligans. Yeah. And they also made a mess, but nothing happened. They walk in the end, they made a mess and everyone went home and that's it.